Thank you, Mr. Rudy Skandar. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Selamat pagi. At the outset, I'd like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia and other organizers for organizing this important webinar and having us, the Asia-Europe Foundation, ASEF, present in the webinar. My name is MORIKAWA Toru. I am the Executive Director of ASEF. Today, I'm going to talk about ASEF, ASEF's experience and its work related to the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as our role in handling the current global health problems and beyond. So please show the slide, next slide. Yes. The Asia-Europe Foundation, ASEF, is an intergovernmental not-for-profit organization located in Singapore. ASEF is the only permanent institution of the Asia-Europe meeting process. It is funded by voluntary contributions from its member governments, which are called ASEM partners. Well, as was explained, currently, there are 53 ASEM partners, including 21 Asian and 30 European countries, plus the ASEAN Secretariat, which locates in Jakarta, and the European Union. Indonesia plays an important role as ASEM partner since the start of ASEM in 1996 and ASEF in 1997. So please show the next slide. The mission of ASEF is to bring Asian and European people together. ASEF promotes understanding, strengthens relationships, and facilitates cooperation among the people, institutions, and organizations of Asia and Europe. ASEF implements different projects across the thematic areas of culture, education, governance, economy, sustainable development, public health, and media. ASEF runs more than 25 projects a year, consisting of around 100 activities, mainly conferences, seminars, workshops, lectures, publications, and online platforms, together with about 150 partner organizations. Each year, over 3,000 Asian and European young students, young professionals, artists, experts of different areas, governmental officials participate in ASEF's activities, and much wider audiences are reached through its various events, networks, and web portals. So please show the next slide. In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, the directly relevant project is ASEF Public Health Network, or ASEF PHN in short. ASEF PHN is part of the ASEM initiative for the rapid containment of pandemic in the influenza. At the 7th ASEM Summit in 2008, the ASEM partners stated their determination to combat a possible human influenza pandemic. Reflecting this strong political statement, this initiative was officially launched in 2009 with the financial support of the government of Japan. Next slide, please. Under the ASEM initiative, there are two components: stockpiling of antiviral drugs and personal protective equipment, PPE, as well as ASEF Public Health Network. In February-March this year, it became a tool to combat the outbreak. We have sent PPE to Cambodia, China, Lao PDR, Mongolia, and the Philippines amid the COVID-19 pandemic. We collaborated with WHO in doing this. So please show the next slide. ASEF PHN was established to complement the stockpile project by providing a platform for bi-regional dialogue on public health priorities related to pandemic. It includes other emerging infectious diseases and expands to pandemic preparedness and response. Please show the next slide. In recent years, we have organized conferences focusing on risk communication for public health emergencies, as well as antimicrobial resistance, gathering the health officials from ASEM partners, representatives from the relevant international organizations such as WHO and the European Commission, academia, and private sectors. So now would you play the video to show the actual conference?
Last thing I want to say is this is the best risk communication meeting I've ever been to. I think the organisers have put together a brilliant forum, but I also think it's down to every participant here. I just hope we can all get together again. And thank you very much for the privilege of being part of this group.
Okay. Such capacity building activities by ASEF PHN is a critical platform for policy dialogue focusing on pandemic preparedness and response among ASEM partners. Pandemic preparedness cannot be done overnight. It requires continuous effort and collaboration, and ASEF is happy to facilitate this process. So would you show the next slide, please? Looking at the future, in order to better prepare for potential public health emergencies, we are reinforcing our efforts on public health at ASEF. In concrete, we are considering to launch a new initiative addressing COVID-19 and other emerging infectious diseases with the government of Japan as donor. Please show the next slide. Let me touch upon our projects in other thematic areas, as these projects are literally to bring the people together. We are facing a big challenge in implementing them. But ASEF never gives up, because we believe in the connection between people. My colleagues are working so hard from home on the digital transformation of the project. Thus, we are facilitating the exchange of the idea on what we can do to make Asia and Europe and beyond even better than before the COVID-19. We are organizing webinars like this. The webinar on how relevant cultural diplomacy in the face of a global crisis, the webinar on access to education and human rights education in times of COVID-19 are some of the examples from our recent projects. We believe it is important to continue our efforts to connect people even in very difficult times. Please show the next slide. ASEF is uniquely positioned to connect Asia and Europe, which covers 60% of the world population and economy. The links between Asia and Europe are already among the most important inter-regional relationships in the world. For example, according to an article of the World Economic Forum before the pandemic, Asia and Europe are trading more between them than between any other regions in the world, with 1.5 trillion US dollars in trade. ASEM is setting its focus on the sustainable connectivity between Asia and Europe. It is to draw more benefits from the huge potential of the exchange between the two regions for all the people in our two regions and beyond. In view of making our regions even better than before the COVID-19 and beyond. Focusing to people exchange, ASEF continues to play its role in these efforts. Please show the next slide. I hope you are somehow interested in ASEM and ASEF. Please begin by watching the different projects of ASEF online, and if you're interested, please consider to be linked with ASEF through on social media, and then to participate in our projects, because we have so much to share with you. We look forward to seeing you in the coming projects of ASEF. Terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Morikawa, for very extensive explanations about ASEF. Now, before turning into our last speaker today, I have a question actually about your organization related to pandemic. So, I forgot to mention that the previous questions that I posed to Pak Masni was from Priscilla Aulia, Christina Wardani, Julia Putri Purwanto, Nurul Mutmaina, Dinda Dwi Danintan. And this question, Pak Morikawa, is from Dia Ayu Anggara Syafitri from LSPR Institute for Communication and Business. The question is, how has pandemic impacted ASEF as an organization? You know, with the situations that really happening right now, with all the restrictions that we have, both in terms of traveling and also in terms of doing business as usual, for example, and then how has the pandemic so far impacted ASEF as an organization?
Yes, thank you very much for the questions. Yes, it is a very important question. And our projects are literally to have the people from Asia and Europe to see each other, to establish the connection between the people in different areas like culture, education, and so on. So the projects are really influenced by the pandemic, because there is a restriction on travel of the people. So we had to largely transform the projects to digital meeting, webinars like this. So, and this is a immediate impact. So, and also that we have to see see the new needs on the ground. So ASEF's mission is to be always relevant and to implement the useful projects for the people of the two regions. So that we, with it, we open our eyes and to think what next we have to do. So that is the second impact. And but our determination is not changed to enhance the connectivity between the people.